Servant Leadership, Leader as Supporter and Facilitator by Robert Greenleaf. What if I told you that some of the strongest leaders in the world are not the ones who demand the most, but the ones who serve the most? Sounds almost backwards, doesn't it? Because when we hear the word leader, we often imagine authority, power, control, status, someone at the top giving orders. But what if the real power of leadership is not found in being above people, but in lifting people up? Imagine a workplace where the leader is not the loudest voice in the room, not the person demanding attention, not the one constantly reminding everyone of their authority, but the one quietly making sure everyone else has what they need to succeed. They listen, they support, they remove obstacles, they develop people, and because of that, the team becomes stronger, more loyal, and more capable. This challenges the traditional picture many people have of leadership, because we often assume leaders must stand above people. But what if the most powerful leaders actually serve from among the people? So the real question becomes, can leadership become stronger when the leader chooses to support rather than control? That question led to servant leadership, created by Robert Greenleaf. Robert Greenleaf introduced this model after observing that many organizations were focused heavily on power, hierarchy, and command, yet often neglected the human needs of the people doing the work. He believed true leadership begins not with asking, "How do I get people to serve me?" but instead, "How do I serve people so they can perform at their best?" This became known as the servant leadership model by Robert Greenleaf, a leadership model built on one profound truth. When people feel supported, they become stronger contributors. Let's break it down. The core idea, Robert Greenleaf explained that the leader's primary role is to serve first. This does not mean weakness. This does not mean lack of authority. It means the leader focuses on support, facilitation, listening, development, empathy, people growth, instead of seeing employees simply as workers who complete tasks. The servant leader sees them as human beings with potential that must be nurtured. The leader asks, "What do my people need to succeed? What is blocking their growth? How can I help them perform better?" This shifts leadership from control to contribution. So, what is the impact? When leaders support people, people give back greater commitment. Power over people versus service to people. This is one of Greenleaf's biggest shifts. Traditional leadership often works like this. Leader at the top, employees below, instructions flow downward. The focus is authority. But servant leadership turns this upside down. The leader still guides, but now the leader also listens first, supports first, removes barriers first, helps people develop first. The leader becomes a facilitator of success, not someone asking, "How do I make people work harder?" but someone asking, "How do I make it easier for people to thrive?" So what is the impact? People feel valued, not just used. How servant leaders lead. Robert K. Greenleaf said servant leaders practice several key behaviors. They listen deeply, they show empathy, they heal conflict where possible, they build trust, they develop people for the future, they create community inside the workplace, they help others grow into leadership themselves. This is important, because servant leadership is not about one strong leader carrying everyone. It is about creating many stronger people. So, what is the impact? The team becomes more capable, more loyal, and more united. Why this model matters today. Think about modern workplaces now. Employee burnout, quiet quitting, low engagement, high turnover, stress, disconnection. Many people no longer stay committed simply because a manager gives instructions. They stay committed when they feel heard, supported, respected, developed. This is why Greenleaf's model matters even more today. Because leadership now is not only about output, it is also about human sustainability. So what is the impact? Supportive leadership builds longer-lasting performance. Real workplace example. Imagine a team member struggling with workload and confidence. A controlling leader may say, "Just get on with it." Pressure increases, performance drops, frustration grows. A servant leader says, "What support do you need?" They coach, they listen, they redistribute obstacles, they provide tools, they build confidence, and gradually the employee begins performing better. Same employee, different leadership response, different result. That is Servant Leadership by Robert Greenleaf in action. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: builds strong trust. Increases employee loyalty, develops people long-term, creates positive work culture, improves team collaboration. Disadvantages: can be time-intensive, may be misread. As soft leadership requires high emotional intelligence, results may take longer to show. Where you see this today. Servant leadership is used in people-centered organizations, coaching cultures, education, healthcare, non-profit leadership, modern team development. Anywhere leaders focus on helping others grow instead of simply commanding performance. That is servant leadership. So, what is the impact? Supported people create stronger organizations. Key insight: Robert K. Greenleaf taught us something deeply powerful. Leadership is not about how many people serve you. It is about how many people grow because of you, because authority can force short-term action, but support creates long-term loyalty. And the leaders who build the strongest teams are not always those with the hardest control. They are those who help others rise. So the real leadership question becomes, are you trying to be the most important person in the room, or the person who makes everyone else stronger? Because the greatest leaders do not just lead followers, they build capable people. So ask yourself, do the people around you feel managed, or do they feel genuinely supported? Take a moment, pause and reflect. Grab a pen. Pencil it down. One person you currently lead and one way you could support their growth more effectively, because leadership through service creates leadership that lasts. I hope this brought value to you, and I'm wishing you abundant success. Take a moment, pause for thought. What would you like to learn and explore next?